good? What's good? Back in the saddle, man. It's one of them. It's one of them ones right here, man. Let me make sure I start this off right. Oh, no nigga, get me twisted. But now. I want to speak to something I found interesting, man. Now, we're going to get into some love and hip-hop, kind of. Now, from a conscious standpoint, or, just people, we just make it exclusive to consciousness. We just say, let's just say love and hip hop. Now, on one hand, if you was to ask, put it like this, if somebody was to ask me, or you would expect my answer to somebody asking me, if somebody asked me, well, how do you feel about love and hip hop or whatever? Now, me as a conscious guy and all that right there, you would expect me to be like, oh, it's the worst thing ever and all that. This, that, and the third, and promoting bad imagery and woo, and it could be doing all that. I have my what's the word I'm looking for? I have my gripe. I ain't gonna say gripes, but I have my what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Let's just say some things that I could point out about it. Be like, yeah, it's not really a healthy look, or it might not be a healthy look, or but at the same time, I don't watch it no more, but I used to watch it. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't watch it no more. I just, because if I was to sit down and flip through the channel and it came on, I'd watch it or whatever. But, first and foremost, hip hop. So I think loving hip hop started when I first, was it before? I think it was like probably the same year I came home, and of course it got hip hop. Now how much hip hop is incorporated in it? If you ask me, it's not even really about hip hop. Hip hop outside of the fact that they have hip hop artists casted in it, right? So that's how I guess how I was drawn to it. But I ain't watching it years. I think I caught a couple minutes of it about a month or two ago, but I didn't get to really get into it. I kind of grew out of that or something. But when I came home, it was loving hip hop. Pepper had a show, Brandy and them, all them. That's when all that was jumping. So I'm fresh out of jail, so I'm on everything. So I'm watching a little bit about it. I'm just like everybody else that's conscious. I got, I'm not here to it's not me grabbing the picket sign and saying, oh, we need to, shut it down. But it is, that shit does make us look kind of crazy at times. Or people, period. Because it ain't even just about loving hip hop. That's just because I'll say that because it's loving hip hop is black people. But they got all these other different, not all reality shows, but loving hip hop isn't the only show where people act crazy like that. There's white girls and shit be throwing drinks and all that old shit too. So we ain't gonna just act like we just put emphasis on it because we already have a fucked up image, and we understand that our image of black people has been under the attack for a while, or has always been under the attack So we're a little bit more sensitive to it when we see it within the context of black people. So I don't want to make it seem like it's just love and hip hop, because I'm sure a lot of other shows, they fighting and putting that shit too. Maybe a little bit more on his love and hip hop. I'm not sure. I don't compare them. I don't want to just throw that under the bus like that all the way. But as you know, it is a crazy look though. I'm not gonna lie. I watch it though. I watch it or used to watch it, whatever. But I'll just yeah. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. Now, one thing, despite the negative aspect of it or whatever, all the fighting and the drink throwing and all the craziness or whatever, it was one season, and I think I spoke to this before, but I didn't. I always plan on doing this though, giving it its own segment. But I think I spoke on it in passing. But the one thing I can commend that franchise for, and I'm doing this because it's supposed to be, it's with the month that they chose for their little thing, the gay pride thing, right? It's the last day of it or whatever. That's why I chose this month. Because and this is inspired by that one. I can't remember what season it was, but it was the season with your boy on there, Miles, and he was dating the black guy or whatever. This was one where they really went into when they was dealing with the homosexuality thing. This is probably one of my favorite seasons. Pause. I'm not gay. Let's get that straight. You got a preference there with these young niggas. But the reason why I say I think that was one of my favorite seasons, and I'm gonna show you why. Now, when you look at, first and foremost, when you look at homosexuality and this new thing, what I knew, but I guess you could say this, how they have, what we've been seeing over the last past, I just say, well, even before 2009, like I said, with my little homeboy, when I was locked up, my little partner came in there, man, came in the joint or whatever, and we were chopping it up. He was like, man, he said, man, it's like more and more people becoming gay out there. And I was like, man, why would you say that? He was like, I don't know. He said, man, bro. He said, cause when you he said, man, you go to the malls now, cause I had already been in there for a while. So he was like, man, you go to the malls, something. It's like you just see more and more people, more and more gay couples or whatever. Now I was like, he said something. I was like, well, it always been gay people and stuff, bro. He's like, nah, man. He's like, nah, bro, it's something different, man. Now, mind you, I'm still locked up, so I don't know what's going on out here like that. So he was like, nah, man, it's like when you go to the mall, bro, it's just like, it's like you see it more now, and it's like it's more open with it or whatever. And this was before, Obama with the gay rights thing or whatever he did. Whatever. But that's when it really, really started taking off. Well, I'm in the jail, so I don't know what he's referencing. I know he's referencing about what he's telling me, but I'm not seeing it with my own eyes, so I know now. I see what he was saying when I got out. So when he said that, we had the conversation. I was like, damn, okay. And then I got out, and when I got out, that's when I started. I kind of saw what he was saying, but even he saw the inception of the beginning of them coming out of a grand. It's like a whole like they collectively came out of the closet or whatever. But he saw the beginning, like 'cause Cause when I came out, it was like it was just when he was seeing it. It was still how it was when I was a kid. I could tell by the way he was speaking. Because it's like right now, if you talk to somebody in who had been out here recently or whatever, you would have to tell them that what he told me because it's just so it's so prevalent now. So anyway, so boom, I get out. Pretty much see what he's saying. I said, oh, okay. I said, yeah, it is. Which made me think like, damn. Which made me ask myself, why is it? It seemed like it's more. I can understand you always had, the closet element, but it just seemed like it was more and more. Man, I've heard theories and stuff, and they putting stuff in the water, and they can got stuff that can they create shit in the lab that can pump in babies and make them gay. All kind. Who knows? I don't know. But that was one of the things. I'm like, damn. I'm like, we always that always been a thing. We always been gay people. But I'm like, man, it's really like this shit is. It's like it's more. It's not like when we was coming. It's like it's more. It ain't. There always been gay people, and it ain't never been like it's just like it's some type of shit we didn't know about or whatever. Because you always seen one over there and here now or whatever. But now it's just like. But anyway, so I get out. You see that, and then you got the mainstream element of it, which is where it gets dangerous with the LGBTQ thing and all that. So that's about, just like what Bobby was saying about the groups. He was speaking more so about conscious groups and stuff like that. But even with that type of groups like the LGBTQ or whatever, that's so many words. This mainstream, because more for one, they got an agenda attached to it. So it's like they got multiple purposes for was celebrated on a mainstream level or whatever. One, you got the feminization of the black man and all that, so we know that, et cetera, et cetera. So with them, that's why I tell people, it's never a thing of, I don't like gay people, or we should be against them. It's a thing of the way it's almost like they shoving it in our face or whatever. And like that one, I got that movie. I seen a commercial for that movie. It's a movie called Bros or something. I just seen the commercial. I never seen the movie. But the guy said, "Remember straight people?" And then the dude he said it to was like, "Yeah, they had a nice run." Nobody said nothing about that. See, that right there. When I heard that, I took offense to that to a certain degree because I was like, it seemed as if they're trying to really see you. It goes from see how it goes. It goes from okay, we just them. Excuse me. It goes from a thing of them just wanting to be able to live, which I'm don't get me wrong. I'm for them being able to live in their truth without being, going through the trials and tribulations that they did. This shit now, the trials and tribulations that how it used to be when I was growing up and before all that or whatever. Because they did have it hard. Don't get it twisted. One thing about them, I can see the parallels between. I'm gonna show you parallels between the gay community, hip hop, and consciousness. More so hip hop and hip hop too, because all three of those had an underground scene at once. One thing these people are known to do, when they see something bubbling up on the underground that puts fear in them, what they do is say, okay, let us put our hands on it. Let's take it from the underground, bring it up, but we don't control it. Therefore, they won't end up doing rising up some kind of way independently, and we not have a hold on it, or them not have a hold on it, us people specifically, the government or whatever you want to call it. I've seen this with all three. Now, the consciousness is a little bit different, but the gay community and hip hop, they really was able to see, because with consciousness you got to be careful, because that's the shit they really didn't want niggas just to get real popular or whatever. But hip hop and the gay thing was a little bit more safer. So and as you can see now, they trying to, you see how they merge, intertwine that shit together. But just like them, we had an hip hop, we had an underground scene. We had an underground scene, did our thing, whatever. And then they said, fuck it. Pulled it into the mainstream, and now controlled it to a point to where now this shit is just falling by the wayside. They just same thing with the gay world or whatever. Go watch. I'm gonna do another video on this one, because the movie was, I just seen the movie. I heard about this shit years ago. Bobby was even talking about this movie, Paris is Burning. But let me not get into, we'll get into that later, because I even went off into the 10. Let me get to what I need to get to. Anyway, so I seen the parallels or whatever. But then with one but hip hop and the gay shit, it was easier for them to bring it up to the surface and control the reins of it on one note. But then when you look at consciousness, as far as the I can relate to them and what they was going through back when it was more of a closet thing for them when it comes to consciousness, because consciousness was just like they wasn't accepted like that. Same thing with consciousness. It's like this shit is just now bubbling up to the point to where you can be conscious and not get as many dirty looks. You can tell people I'm into Kemet or I'm into alternative to the mainstream big three: Judaism, Christianity, Islam. You can say now what I'm in. It's a little bit easier now. You know what I'm saying? So we have a parallel with them on that level. Once upon a time where it was like this shit was taboo to a certain degree. And I'll get more into that later. But I want to get to why because I want to get to the origin of what made me want to make this video. So anyway, when that now me and one of my homeboys used to have a conversation about gay people, and I used to tell him, he's like, nah, man, that's a choice. People make a choice. I'm like, man, I think they born that way. And the reason why I said that, like I said, that's just my theory. I'm not gay, so I don't know. But that's the reason why. That's what I was trying to tell him. He was like, man, them people just making a choice. When I was trying to explain, he was like, look, bro, you have to go past just thinking these people are just making a choice And the reason why is because I look at myself, I'm straight, but I can't even fathom what it's like to value another man. I can't do it. It's just something beyond my comprehension. So I can't, it's only so far I can go. All I can do is theorize. It's only so far I can go to, I don't know what the hell they're going through. So I can't, but that's what makes me say they have to come right. It has to be, yeah, but I was like, man, it has to be something. It's more than just a choice, bro. Because, and for some people it may be that, but then there's some, because two things can be true at once, I guess, or whatever. But I'm trying to find a way to put it. It's like I can't fathom that, bro. I can't. I don't know. That shit is like, that's like a color a nigga never seen before. I just can't fathom. It's hard to explain, but I just can't. Therefore, that's what made me say it has to be something deeper than just a motherfucker making a choice or whatever. I'm trying to figure out how I say it. Now, baby, what I'm trying to say is, if you, as a straight man, you, in a second, I don't want to waste of time. Yeah. But as a straight man, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it has to be something more than that, bro. Just somebody waking up and saying, hey, y'all. Because I can't fathom this shit as a man. So I'm like, it has to be something deeper than just somebody saying, oh, And then another thing would make me, and I didn't expect, if the words will come to me, because I want to explain it more thoroughly. But on second thought, on the other hand, you could just look at some people and tell. Like I said, I know a guy who said by the time his little brother got up in age, they knew what it was with him or whatnot. And he ended up growing up and being gay. But they could tell when he was a child. It was a little before he was even able to make choices like that or something like that. They just said they knew that same thing he seen in his little brother. It's the same thing I can see in gay people or whatever, or gay guys. I'll put it like this, put it like that, gay guys. And not all of them have that. Now again, some people do make choices. You got all, for whatever reasons they do. Maybe they got persuaded by, maybe a guy that was straight got persuaded by a gay person and took their life on, or some niggas go to jail and or so caught their little boot chakra. They just say, fuck it, probably was never thought about that and got down there like, oh, this is all I got left or whatever, and do whatever. So you got that element too, but you got some certain people you can tell, you can just look at them and tell. That's another reason why I say that they born like that, or that's a thing. So, what 5:30? Okay, so I'm on now to further corroborate what I'm trying to say about the born thing. And when you look at this, what I liked about it, this is why it's one of my favorite seasons, because it kind of corroborated what I was trying to say. And the theme was you had the guy Miles. He had been gay since he was a kid or whatever, but that's what the whole season was about, like him trying to figure out how to come out to his people and shit. And I think he had a girlfriend and all that. Now, why I'm telling you why I like this season is because it shows you another side. See, all we see when you look at the mainstream media today and shit, all you see is the parades and everybody celebrating, and that's cool too. I feel like now, like I said, they take it too far when you start taking transvestites to kindergarten schools, kindergartens and shit. See, that's when it gets perverted and shit or whatever. When you taking shit out of context or whatever. Or trying to just shove it in our face all the time. It's like, you don't think we see this, you don't think we know It's all come from being uh, uh, downtrodden or whatever. So when you get to this level where it's more open, stuff like that happens. Oh yeah, they had a nice run. So now you putting it in a situation where it's gay versus straight or whatever. And it's like they via the media though. We ain't talking just regular people. It's because of the mainstream shit. But we just say the mainstream version of it, by being mainstream now and being more acceptable, they throw it around and put it in niggas' face and shit and do shit like that and say, yeah. And they said, and it was a movie, a joke in the movie, but it's a reflection of something. And yeah, you remember straight people that do say, yeah, they had a nice run. To me, that sounded like it came from the mind of somebody that's really just trying to get all the straight people out the way or some shit. So you got that element. But what that season did for me was you got my partner saying people making a choice, but I'm not they making a choice. Why is this guy I'm watching right here conflicted? You know, and if I'm not, it's been a while since I watched it, but if I'm not mistaken, he said he had always had them feelings or whatever, but he never knew why. And they kind of went back to what I was saying about like I can't fathom. It just you might think I'm he just exaggerating. Or he's just trying to keep telling us he ain't gay. It's like no, I'm trying to. I can't explain, but I can't fathom. Not even a man who looks like a woman, which we get into that too. Not even that. I don't give a fuck about. I can see you from across the room. And you might be a drag. I might not know. I might think you're a regular girl or some shit, like them dudes you used to see on Maury and all that shit. The moment somebody come and tell me, you know, as a dude, I might be fooled. Oh, as soon as you say that, wow. So, and it's just how crazy this world has got. I'm a real nigga. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. But I do think I have now I ain't gonna lie, I think I have I guess you call it an alert. I do have, I'm a god, so I have intuitive type of shit in me that one of the gods might come through or the goddesses might come through. Anything that happened before that happened. But I might see you from across the room, somebody might not tell me, I might get up on you, something might happen. I don't know what it is, but something might happen. Like, oh, something ain't right. Get back, bro. But anyway, I just can't fathom the shit. Why would I just can't fathom it. That's what makes me think like it has to be something different on a psychological level. Cause I just can't see it. I'm an understanding guy. Get me wrong. I didn't like guacamole growing up. Love this shit now. I can't say the same about that. I'm still, you know, I might be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? I might be a little bit more understanding or non-judgmental towards them. But I could never sleep with a man, drag, trans, none of that shit. It ain't that, I just can't do it. But that's why it makes me think like it has to be something different. But anyway, so back to but the My House, this episode, this season of Love and Hip Hop, I have to say kind of corroborated what I was saying, because here you had this guy, and he has a girlfriend too, but he has a dude. And these two guys, when you look at them, him and this dude, it's two different versions, which I think that represented I think Miles represented, it's going to be some, at the end of that season, but we'll get to that later, but he represented, just like the people I'm going to speak on at the end of the shit, he represented those people. You got those that's like, well, you know what, fuck it, it is what it is. I'm gonna run with it, fly the flag, blah 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 blah. That was his dude. You know what I'm saying? He was more so like thinking like me. He's just a gay person though. The same way I'm thinking like I'll be like, what make a man wanna sleep with another dude? He, as a man that does that, you need to go watch it. Last time I looked for it, I couldn't find it. But he, as a gay dude, even he started to question himself and was conflicted within himself. And the reason why I'm making this video is because don't nobody speak about that part. At least not now. It's so, everything is so simple. Like I say, I ain't got no parades and all that shit. I don't got no problem with that. Or people representing or living in their truth and not being afraid to openly admit to how they live and even accept it, I guess. But the thing about it is, I guess you can say I'm a voice for the voiceless because you don't hear them other stories. You don't hear the dark side of this shit. You don't hear stories like Miles. All you see is rainbows, which is not gay shit either, really. But you know, all you hear is the celebratory aspect of it, and I do feel like, because like I said, I am of the opinion that they are born like that. So it's like, I feel like if it's something you feel that they feel like they can't change or they conflicted. I mean, if you feel like it's some type of innate feeling that you have that you can't shake it, then I guess the best thing to do is embrace it or whatever, or live your truth, as they say. But when I saw this, now Miles, mind you, no pun intended, but Miles was a mild version of what I saw at the end. Or at least apparently. I don't know if I do think he was saying how he had, he used to be, he always had been conflicted growing up. Therefore, that's why I was trying to tell people, they be like, man, that's a choice. I'm like, well, if it's now, you got people like him stepping up. Now I can say, well, if it's a choice, why you got this guy saying he always felt like that and always had an issue with it? Was it he acted off of those instincts or whatever, but he was conflicted about it. And it's a difference between, okay, you go lay down with a dude, and then 2 days later, whatever, you fucked up about it. Damn, why did I do that? Blah blah blah. No, these people are conflicted about the actual fact that they are feeling like it. Not all of them. Like I say, I think they have a natural. I don't know. Like I said, it's only so far I can go with anything. So I don't know. You have to have a conversation with them, which is the closest I done ever had in finding out or trying to figure this shit out is through this show. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't know gay people or why. I got homeboys who got, a girl may have a gay brother or some shit like that. This, that, the third. You go over there, they over there, whatever. But as far as gay talking and friend, I don't have that or whatever. So I couldn't just never pick the brain of one. But this is the closest I can get to it through the show. So that's why I was looking and I'm like, this is interesting because I'm like, we in a time where everybody is coming out and celebrating and it's all good. It's damn near the cool thing to do for everybody now. And in the midst of all that, you got this guy here who has a problem with it. I wish I should have probably tried to watch it again, but he has a problem with it. But whatever. But so when you get to the end, now this is when the kicker was though. The last, because they had the season, and then they had the season finale where they do a little meet up or the reunion or whatever, right? Now this is where it got interesting for me. First and foremost, and this is why despite the negative flack that Love and Hip Hop catch, even for me sometimes, because I say some of that shit be crazy, and it can influence our little girls to grow up wild and out. Niggas be on that whole tripping too. You know, them girls really be tripping, but for them to shine, when they shine that light on him and showed you the other side of the game, that stuck out to me. I said, you know what? I like that, because not saying I dislike them being able to, live more freely. But when you put that light on him, it shows you that although the rest of the world maybe celebrate this, like it's just the best thing since sliced bread, and to them maybe it is. You don't hear anybody talking about that element though, and that element is more so educating to me, because because I do wonder, like, damn, like what makes a man want to be with a man? Or, I can't, well, women, I already gave you my spiel of the women, but just as a man, I just speaking from a man's perspective of homosexuality. And maybe it's a woman somewhere that's saying the same thing. What makes a woman want to be with another woman? But as a man, it ain't like I just found it, but by us having these conversations with my homeboys and shit, and having like just our different opinions on why people are gay, this season, it kind of gave me a glimpse of, or kind of, like I said, kind of substantiated what I was trying to tell my homeboy, because you had people saying this, and not people. I'm gonna get to it. So you had Miles on there, and he had his homeboy, or this dude or whatever. Now he was the more flamboyant, spicy, or whatever you want to call it. He was more. Miles was conflicted about his situation. I don't know what he was, but he didn't see. He's more so like represented the spirit of the general, or how homosexuality is celebrated generally today. You dig? Miles, on the other hand, is more so of he's gay, but he was conflicted about it. He wasn't necessarily all the way happy about those feelings that he had, or whatever. So they had a preacher on there. The preacher, and I don't even want to say they got to it. Miles' dude was that's why I say it was crazy, because the preacher was like, look, man, I had to give him his props on it, because he said exactly what he's supposed to say. He was like, man, I'm not up that. He said, even though I don't agree, because they was, having their little back and forth, but the gay dude was like, he was like being offensive. He was offended and being offensive, because for one, look, come on, even me, and I'm conscious, bro. So you know how we look at church and all that shit. But even me, bro, even I was like, come on, man. Come on, bro, not Rev. That's Revs, man. Rev wasn't antagonizing the guy. He was just speaking. Revs was like, man, look. He was like, even though I don't, he was being as well-mannered mild-mannered as possible about the situation. He was like, man, even though he said, I might not agree with your way of life. He said, but I would never push you away or deny you access to come and sit down with me. And because that's what he says. Like he was like, I might not agree with how you live, but you're always welcome to come and sit and have conversations with me. And I'm paraphrasing because it's been a while since I've seen it. And I respected that, man. The way he handled himself within that, because and it was crazy because no matter how it was, he kept his he was poised and professional about it. Then the dude, Miles, the guy, he was just like talking shit to the guy, and I'm like, damn, bro. Even though y'all might not be seeing eye to eye, you could at least talk to him the way he's talking to you. He's he's been respectful, and just stating where he's staying at. He's stating where he's standing at, but he's like getting aggressive, jump. But a lot of the times when people, that's when, people who feel like they in the wrong, I guess that's that hit dog holler thing. A lot of times people, I guess what I'm trying to say is maybe felt like something was, maybe it's a part of him that feels like Miles, that he's in denial about. And that preacher was touching that pause, was bringing that out or whatever. Cause he just kept on, fuck that, and just talking, like he was talking shit. I'm like, damn, bro. For one, man, he's and I'm not trying to big up like preachers and shit like that, cause I'm a country nigga. But even I was like, come on, bro. Now I can say if he would start that, the preacher would have been talking some slick shit and saying something, I'd have been like, okay, I get it now. But the preacher was just talking, just telling his, he was like, well, my book says that's not right, and blah, 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 and, well, man, this nigga was tripping. I'm like, man, I was sitting there like, damn, bro, that's he act like he wanted to swab him. That's when I remember with him. So anyway, now I want to get into why I really brought this up. This the real reason why I want to speak on this, because you have a whole, and that's why I liked it this season. That's why I say it was my favorite season, because it did something that I think needed to be done. When the reunion was over, I think they had like a hotline number for people to call who were of that persuasion, who was conflicted, who was having problems with it, whatever. And then they started having these, if I'm not mistaken, these different testimonies of people who were saying things like they had been like that since a kid and didn't like it, they wanted to kill themselves. Now, hold up now. Let's go back to what my home was saying about, like, people making choices or whatever. Well, if it's just a choice, why do we have these people testifying and saying they've been like that they whole always since they were a kid, but they want to kill, they maybe having suicidal thoughts and asking themselves questions like, why am I like this, and blah. Which is what I was trying to tell my homeboy, who was saying it was just a choice. I'm like, well, if it's a choice, why you got people saying this? Saying that you got people who are gay, but they don't like being gay. But you don't ever hear that part. Usually by the time you find out somebody's gay, they are at least outwardly accepting of it and can't hell is what it is, blah, blah, blah. But you never see this element. See, that shines a light on a whole nother part of it for people who periodically, because I don't know, something I just walk around racking my brain about it, but periodically I'll be like, something happen. I just can't get it. But and not even just because that's my personal thing, not even just the point of how a man can sleep with another man. It goes deeper than that. That's I am a man, and homosexuality is women and men. But not even just that. Just to take it past that, past my personal thing, just on a scientific level, just look at like, well, how does it happen? Because I can't fathom it, bro. It just don't. Nothing about another man does nothing for me. Like I don't get it. Maybe I say even a drag queen, one or trans or whatever. Once you get, all you gotta do is say, oh, that's a dude. Oh, I don't care how you look. It just, so, but it shined another light on it because now you can, if you didn't know no better, you would just think like, my homeboy, they just want to be. That's how they want to be. That's that's the choice they made. That's the life they want to live. This and the third. This and the third. But see, by you not being or us not being gay, we don't. That's what I was trying to say. We don't know. I'm not gay, so I don't know what the fuck's going on inside of a gay person. So I give them a more respect, enough respect to say it may be a little bit deeper than somebody making a choice. You know, ultimately you have to talk to them because, like I said, we don't. That's what I was trying to tell my homie because he ain't gay either. So I'm like, you as a straight man, bro, you really don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't. All we do is speculate. Even me, even though I feel like just like he probably feel like his theory or opinion or whatever is sturdy. Me too. But now I leave enough room to say I don't know because I don't know what the fuck. It's like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's like to be a goddamn girl. Like, you know, it's only so far I can go when it comes to fucking women shit. I don't know what the fuck it feel like to have no breasts. At least not in this lifetime. You know, we done had many lifetimes where you might have been a woman in a past life and all this shit, but I don't know. Remember that shit. So I can't I'm of the ilk of that it's more of a it's something deeper than just somebody making a goddamn choice. That's some jail shit. A nigga go to jail and make a choice. He want to fuck a punk or some shit. No, these people got, and then it's the look that they have and the mannerism that they have. Now I don't hope I ain't sound like I'm talking about like some fucking aliens or some shit, but it's just that's how foreign that life or that thing is to me. That way of living is to me. Is the point I'm trying to make. But that's the part that stuck out to me. And I felt like that. That element of the gay world needed to be recognized or whatever. Because I imagine how many other, you know, you look up now, you just feel like you think this by it being a popular thing now, you think just everybody just that and that's cool, they cool with it. But you got a whole element of people who don't, who are not as accepting of the fact that they have those feelings. And that's what I was trying to tell my home, because when you look at that, when you look at it, like I say, that's what made it my favorite part thing, because I'm a sympathetic person. So and I'm talking about not, the reason I say it's my favorite season is that part alone, that little one segment where they were talking to all those different people, and you had people saying that right in the midst, this is like 11, 12, something, right in the midst of all this, you know, LGBTQT thing or whatever, however you say it, right in the midst of this little era or whatever, Love and Hip Hop, the one show we always, I'm gonna say always, but the one show you can easily just look at, and if you want to say, hey, this shit is savagery, well, you can do it. That, even though it may be all that, the only goddamn place where I saw somebody give a microphone or give a audience to that element of the gay community is Love and Hip Hop. Might be other shows too, don't get me wrong, I don't know. But this was the first time I saw that. And I said, yeah. I said, they did a good job right there. Because don't nobody talk about that element of it. So, you celebrate those who just all the way in and don't have a problem being like that. But you forget about the other part of your thing, which is the people that's conflicted about it or whatever. So if you're gonna have a month where you dealing with gay or call this gay pride month or whatever, deal with it all. Don't just deal with the part of the people who's cool with it and on the floats and shit or whatever. Talk, because those, to the people that's conflicted about it, those are the ones that end up killing themselves and having mental problems or don't know how to function or whatever. Because I can only imagine. But I felt like that was needed. Because I was looking at that, I was like, man, you know what? It was kind of sad too. I'm looking at these people like, man, tell how they always felt like that and I want to kill themselves because of it and had suicidal thoughts. And that's what I say back to what I was telling my homeboys. Like, if it was just a choice, then why you got an element of these people who don't accept the fact that they're like that? It ain't even about them. But with some people, they gay, they just trying to come out the closet. With these people, it's like they gay. It ain't even about coming out of the closet. It's about what the fuck is going on in my head. That's what they was on. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I was getting when I saw that. And I said, that's what's needed right there. How many people out there are like that? We see so many, that I'm not one of them. You gotta get real particular with niggas in this internet age. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, maybe he's one of them. No. I'm a Voiceless. A Voiceless is a deity that's, his attributes is seeing things from all angles or whatever. 360 spin around, So, that's why I'm able to even give a fuck about that element of, because I'm looking at this shit like, man, well, what about them? That's like a whole nother element. You got people that's gay and ain't tripping, but they just want to come out the closet and live comfortably. But then you have this element where they are like, and that, like I said, I'm a scientist. So as a scientist, I can sit back. That's a whole other part. I can say, okay. So if I'm basically what I'm trying to say is, if I'm trying to figure out, are these people born like this, or what the fuck is going on? This is something that has to be factored in, because if they're saying not only are they saying they always fit, because see, you got that element too. You got people that's accepting of what they are, and they'll use the fact that they always felt like that to justify it. I was born like this, so it's cool, it's all right, and that might be for them. But they'll use that and be like, yeah, I've been feeling like this since I was 6 years old and all this and this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right? But they'll be saying that in commission of justifying, and I'm not saying whether they can justify it or not, but I'm saying, just generally speaking, you will hear people say that in justification of their life choice or whatever. But then you got the other people over here, they're saying they was born like that, always felt like that, but they don't like it. That's a nightmare. I can only imagine. I don't know. But it may not be a nightmare for these people, but imagine, because even them, I can't get it because go back to what I'm saying. I'm not gay, so it's like it's only so far. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for? But well, if you've been to Disneyland before, and I've never been to Disneyland, it's only so, and you come back, and there's another person over here who's never been to Disneyland, who would be the best person to tell them about Disneyland? That person or me? Definitely me, because I ain't never been to the motherfucker. This motherfucker say, yeah, when you first walk in, it's a big here, you're going to turn some ice cream factory right here. And me, like, I just see commercials and shit, bro. It looks cool. I've never been. You know what I mean? It's like that. So all I can do is go off of the people who've been to Disney World before. and say, oh, okay, woo woo. Same thing here. I've never been to gay world, so all I can do is say, okay. But like I said, I'm a scientist, and I am a God, so I have to. Well, you think I'm a. Cause so I'm saying it because you might be looking at me like, well, why do you care? I'm like, well, I'm here, nigga. Things. I'm a scientist by nature. That's why my boy Magnificent named me Lord Scientific. I'm a scientist, so I want to know. That's something I would want to know. A man, especially coming from a fucking gallant, a guy who's just I love women. I mean, I'm a. You know, a nigga like me that's just love overboard when it comes to women. When I see a man who don't like women, or he like men too, I have to say, you know, it make me think like, wow, how, you know, how does that happen? Yeah, it arouses my curiosity, Paul. But yeah, man, I thought that, you know, I understand one of the ones was just fireworks and stuff, but I wanted to speak to that and say that I felt that was a commendable thing to do. I don't know whose idea it was, but I felt that needed to happen, you know, just to bring awareness. I think they had a hotline that people could call and stuff. That's what I feel like made it my because it in a time where it's damn it like shit, you can't even, most commercials you see now gay dudes, it's to the point now where they done took this thing so far. I almost feel like, and I can tell you in other elements in the world where I see it's like they're trying to go back to what I was saying about the gender aspect of the LGBTQ, whatever the fuck they call it. You're seeing more and more gay men and less strong images of strong men or whatever. Even when you little shit like commercials, it's like most commercials I see niggas is gay in that bitch. I be like, damn, bro, they don't cast straight dudes in commercials no more. You know, unless some fucking Ford truck commercial or some shit. Or some man, you know, it's like every other goddamn commercial is a gay dude. I'm like, man, you know, what the fuck is going on here? Goes back to what the nigga said in the goddamn. Through Hollywood, you could never erase all straight people from the real world. But it's like by Hollywood being ran by people who are of that element, I think that they're trying to do it cinematically. Because even the girls, I've even and they go back to the subconscious mind. Because when you see something, the subconscious mind, when one black man does something, your conscious mind understands that that's just him as an individual, and all niggas are not like that. The subconscious mind doesn't see it like that. The subconscious mind sees that, and we just can't tell it sees everything. Or put it like this. It's like they say when when Danny Glover got after Color Purple, they say Danny Glover, some lady walking. I don't know how true it is. I think when the story Bobby was telling, but they say some woman walked up to Bobby Glover and slapped him based off of what he did in the movie. I guess that was he Harpo? I never watched it. It never appealed to me from out, and I probably did as a kid because it was a big thing when I was young and shit. I was right around the time I was like 5, so I was just getting here. My mom and them loving this shit and all of those shit. I never disliked. I never saw it. Well, I probably saw it as a kid. I don't remember nothing of them shit. Never, and for some reason I just never wanted to watch it. I just never. I don't know. But I guess he's Harpo. And all I know is the jokes. Oh, you told Harpo to beat me and all this other shit. So I guess he was Harpo or something. Or I don't know. But Byron said some woman walked up to him and slapped him. That's because the subconscious mind, when that lady was. That's why I say you have to be mindful of yourself. The subconscious mind don't know how to differentiate real from fake or whatever, or differentiate. The conscious mind does that. So when the more and more they started to push the gay agenda, the more and more I started seeing women online saying shit like, "Oh, these niggas gay." I'm talking about black men too. They send this to black because they was feminizing. They make it their business to try to feminize us via the entertainment world. But when they start picking up on it heavy, they've been doing it. When they start getting real heavy with it, by the internet age being here, I was able to gauge the effect it was having. So I'm listening to shit like what Bobby and I'm saying about the subconscious mind and all that, and then I'm seeing what people saying online like Facebook and all this shit, and I'm like, man, them niggas right, because I start seeing women saying them, all these niggas gay, all of them, I don't care how hard they walking. I'm like, hold up, that gay agenda shit working. By them pushing so many images of us as gay people on their screen, now our women are starting to think all of us are like that. And it's like that's not the fucking case. I thought that was just on the strength of them, just on the strength of them considering in a world where, or in an era where, this is they're promoting it as the hot thing to do. And that's why it stuck out like that, because nobody was speaking to that element of the gays or whatever, gay people or whatever. I sound real 1980s the gays. No, but wasn't nobody speaking to that element, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think, man, I've been going through so much shit, but I almost want to say, I don't want to lie, but I almost want to say that they even brought it. I'm quite sure. I know I ain't gonna like that, but I think it probably reinforced. Or I feel like it may have been I get what I'm trying to say is, people been celebrating for so long since I've been going so hard with it. I think that when they did that episode, it reminded me of that element of people, of them. Like I said, 'cause I'm not in that world, so but I'm trying to think that I ever think about. But I'm quite sure I did consider the possibility that there were people out there. I think there were people out there that was conflicted about it. I know my mind is more expanded on it, but I think when I saw that episode, it brought that back to light, or it kind of shined a light on that to where I may have not. But I'm quite sure I probably thought about those types too. But this shit being so put in our face, that stuck out when they done that right there, and it made me think about that element. Like, damn, that has to be a fucked up feeling, man. Always feeling like that, or been feeling like that ever since you can remember being around. But at the same time, being conflicted by it. And who knows? Maybe they all have that. I'd bet a friendly wager, $2 or something, that whether even if it was just when they was a little kid, if they always felt like I'm willing to bet a $2 bet or something, that maybe all of them had those moments where they was like, what the hell is going on with me, or whatever. Or maybe not. Some people just might have grew up like, fuck it, whatever. But I think that's that's something that they may have all at least experienced in a moment, but then most, they probably got over it. And then you got the other element where it was just like they just could never get over it or could never fully accept that. So it's not even with them. It's not even about making other people accept it. They can't even accept it themselves to come out and make other people accept it. If you follow what I'm saying, and I think that because if we gonna be, if y'all gonna celebrate this, don't forget that element. You did? What about them? What about seminars and stuff to bring that part of the, or do we just say fuck them? You ain't really fuck that. Just sit over there and kill yourself or something. Or do you just do that? I don't know. That's y'all thing. I'm just asking. I'm just being a voice of the voiceless because we, in this world where, in this era where it's damn near like shit. If you ain't with that, I don't want to say it because that's really just Hollywood. With shit, in the world where we live in an era now where you even express I think it's getting a little better. I think that with then in an era where just the expression of not necessarily being of that way of life could get you looked at crazy. Just saying, well, I ain't gay. What? Get him out of here. Or at least in the entertainment world. Y'all know what I'm saying. But, man, I just thought that was sad, bro. And then they, because like I said, that's what it was. Everybody else like, yeah, they celebrating, woo, woo, woo. And then you watch this shit, you got motherfuckers crying, and man, I just don't get it. And I'm like, damn, you got a whole element of people that's really conflicted with this shit. But don't nobody talk about that part. It's just all glitz and glamour. And then they had the other, at the end, I think that was your boy too, the dude that was arguing with the preacher, if I'm not mistaken. You'll see everything I'm talking about if you go watch it. But I think he was like, well, why is there so many? There was another thing too. They was talking about, I think it was like at the end they wrote it on the screen or something. They was talking about how there's like certain such and such amount of trans come up missing, or some shit like every year 12,000 trans people die of some shit. I don't know, something like that, or 12,000 every. Some shit was just a number, but when I saw that, I said, well, but it's like such and such amount of transvestites are found dead every year or some shit like that. So now, not to be insensitive, but I'm looking at when I'm seeing it, I said, I'm like, man, I said, yeah, I know what that is. Because you just read it, they'll have you thinking it is some type of what's the word I'm looking for? Hate crime thing. Because you'll read it like, oh, that's just them haters killing, that hate, they killing them gays, and I'm looking at it like, nah. See, because one thing I do know, I can't remember if I saw it in the Sylvester Unsung or where I found it, but it's a thing where they actually get something. Now I was painting too broad of a brush, but they have a thing where that's the thing, tricking the man into believing that you're a woman. That's as far as you can go with it. Straight men. So they finding out these transvestites and shit dead. That could very well be the reason why. Because you can't do that. That's not, if you're gonna do that, be gay, then be gay with gay people. Don't try to flip a man or try to fool him into believing you a woman and shit. And he's straight, and then he reach down and find something. What you thinking they're gonna do? Or you get the surgery or some shit, and y'all do it, and you tell him, well, you know, I had a nigga gon' I know I would. You a what? You did that, you know, you don't think that'll make somebody want to kill you, bro? But I've heard, I don't know if it was this Sylvester or something, or whatever, but I heard somebody say that they used to do that. That was their thing. They used to go and yeah, that was Sylvester, I think. They used to that was their thing to do. Get up on straight men or whatever. Not men looking for that. Men who wasn't in the commission of trying to pull the wool over their eyes. So, you don't think that would make a person want to kill you? I know I would. I'm gonna be honest. You tell me some first, yeah. Motherfucker would have to have, yeah. So yeah, man. But I'm gonna come back with a little something else, man. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this one. I just wanted to. That was the main reason I did this. Was for those people. Not necessarily to attack the LGBTQ gay people. I don't fuck about it. I don't fuck the group, the label, but regular gay people or whatever. You gay, do your thing or whatever. I'll just say them because they are agenda based. But regular gay people just walking around, like I say, I can't. By me not knowing what's going on in there, there's only so far I can go. Now, you know, we was young, we used to talk shit. Look at your gay, look at that nigga. Yeah. But then when you, but even then, because I ain't no, you know, you with your partners and shit, you talk shit, or gay dude walk by, you know, this nigga here. But at the end of the day, by me being a civilized individual, I wouldn't, although we might laugh and shit, talk shit, you know, whatever, I wouldn't treat a gay guy, even in those days, that's what I'm telling you, even back then when we used to just, like, and even now, like, you sitting up with the homeboys and a drag queen walk by, you know, a nigga gonna be like, you know, a nigga might laugh or some shit or whatever, but I ain't gonna just go in on them or whatever. You know, just like a kid. If yo, look, what you think will react? You say you had like a 8-year-old. And the 8-year-old's father came in the door with a dress on. The kid gonna probably start laughing. Just like we laugh when we see Shanae, or whatever. And I once heard, I can't remember why I read it at, but they said it was somewhere in Africa. They said when they first came into contact with gay people, or when they saw gay people, it was just funny to them. They would laugh or whatever. Which goes, that's what I'm saying about the inner child. By me being or the child having that innocence, so they'll probably just laugh or whatever. So like I said, we probably laugh on that type of note right there. But just as far as gay bashing, fuck you, you judging and all that shit, nah. We was a little bit more judgmental growing up, but as a kid or whatever, teenager or whatever. But like I say, even then, even that was, you gonna talk shit with your goddamn homeboys and shit, but it's only so far nigga can go, especially when I look at those kids and the people that was at the end of that segment. When you see that part of it, if you are the type of judge, you're like, fuck you get over there and all this old shit. If you see that, it'll make you look at shit different. Even if the person that you come in contact with or that's triggering you to speak on how you feel about, or how negative you feel about it, if you see that part right there, it'll make you look at it different. Like, you know what? Hey man, each his own, brother. Each his own. Because you just never know, bro. But I'm not with that though. Like, don't, if you do that with people that's into that. When you start trying to cross the stream, that's how people end up dying. And then you be getting the killer wrong, but you be like, well, shit, this motherfucker wrong. Men don't play about that, bro. They go both ways. You try to come in from the back, I gotta get you. You gotta trick me with it, same thing. You just not trying to take it from me. But if you try to trick me into having sex with a dude, with you as a dude, brother, if a nigga tell me a story like that, he had to kill him up, I like, yeah, I understand, bro. Because it's a man thing. I can't, just like, and maybe the way I don't understand them eternally, maybe people may not understand that aspect of a man eternally. But, yeah, you might say, oh man, that's going too far. It's like, nah, bro. It's just something different. I can't explain it. But I'm gonna come back, man. Let me upload this, and I got something else I want to get on with pause. But yeah, I said pause. Fuck you, nigga. Oh man, y'all too grown for that shit. I say pause because we'll talk about that later anyway. But I want to speak to that because somebody said something the other day, and I was like, these niggas is running around here talking about, oh man, these guys just pause shit. I don't like it. It's like, man, fuck all that, bro. To each his own. I feel the need to say this shit around because we'll get into it anyway. I just hold tight.